We're here today at Furzton Lake in Milton Keynes, and behind me we've got two top feeder anglers in Darren Davies and Dean Barlow. We're out to put the new Acolyte Ultra feeder rod through its paces. We've got a 10 foot and a 12 foot, so let's go and have a look and see how they're getting on. I'm stood with Dean. For you guys who don't know, Dean's part of the England feeder team. So tell us, Dean, I see you're fishing with the 10 foot Ultra rod. How's the session been going?
Not too bad, thanks, Dan. Using the 10 foot. I'm only casting here at first in about 20 metres, something like that. So don't need a too long a rod for this kind of fishing.
Yeah, nice short little chuck, nice and comfortable.
Yeah, definitely, mate, definitely. So been catching a few different species. I've caught hybrids, roach, a couple of decent perch and a couple of decent skimmers as well. So the rod's stepping up to the plate.
Right. Been fishing for baits like maggots and just putting some worms in it, just general sort of skimmer fishing, really.
Yeah, just general silverfish fishing, a few bits of worms, casters and maggots, and to be fair, I'm getting bites really regular, just trying to sort out a few better fish.
This isn't what you'd only use this rod for, is it? I think it's quite important to say.
No.
Dean's been testing these rods out for us now for nearly 18 months, so you've been F1 fishing, you've been doing all sorts.
Yeah, it's a rod that you can use. It's just as much as home on a natural venue like this as it is on a small commercial, where you probably use a little method feeder or a little cage feeder for fishing for F1s and small carp. But like I say, it's just as home, catching small fish, but it's still got enough power there if you catch a big fish.
We'll talk a little bit more about the rod now. With this rod you get 3 tips. Let me grab them. You get a 1 ounce, 1.5 and 2 ounce tip, 3 different colours, just so you can visually see the difference. You're fishing with today, Dean?
I've got the 1 ounce tip in today. As the conditions, it's a little bit windy, but there isn't actually much tow on the water, so a 1 ounce tip won't bend round too much, so I can't see any of the indications.
But you haven't missed many bites, have you?
No, not today, no.
With these tips, you've seen every single little bite, and the pickup, probably due to the action, it's really quick, so you're not missing any bites.
Yeah, it complements the rod. All 3 of the tips complement the rod perfectly. Like I say, I've got a 1 ounce tip on here. If I was fishing a commercial for F1s, I'd probably go for the 1.5 ounce tip.
Right.
And then if I was fishing just for out and out small carp, I'd go for the 2 ounce tip, probably with a method feeder, something like that. But they'll complement the rod for whatever occasion you need it to.
And because you hear lots of people talking about different actions on rods, what would you say this rod, where would you sit it?
It's a parabolic action, which means that it's like the perfect arc. Whenever you've got a fish on, you don't feel like you're going to lose a fish. It is a very slim blank, but here at Furzton, I'm catching small roach, small skimmers. Right. I could catch a 4-pound bream or a 10-pound carp, and I'd have no worries at all. Only using light hook lengths, I wouldn't have any worries about losing the fish whatsoever or it breaking my line.
Right, okay. So I think it's fair to say the rod, it's quite a general rod. You can do lots with it. Dean's more than happy. What we'll do, we'll come back later, see what you caught, but now we'll go across and see Darren. I'm now stood with Darren. Darren's just won the local summer league here and also just came back from a successful trip in Ireland. So Darren, I see you fishing with a 12 foot rod. How you been getting on?
Yes, Dan, just fishing at Furzton today for skimmers, bream, perch, using a 12 foot new Ultra Acolyte feeder rod. Been using the prototype for probably about best part of 18 months now. Just tweaking it from word go really, just getting everything to the state that it is at the moment.
Well, I know we've had lots of, Darren's been coming up to the factory backwards and forth and had lots of different debates on different things. So this is a longer rod, so you can chuck a little bit further. What sort of distance are you fishing today?
Basically the 12 foot is ideal for distances of sort of 30 metres to 50 metres with sort of 25 to maybe 45 gram feeders. Plenty of power in the rod, in the butt section, middle section. The tips are all carbon. With a 12 foot, you get a 2, 2.5 and 3 ounce carbon tip, all push in.
Right. What actually are you fishing on the business end today? Because you've been catching some nice skimmers.
Yeah.
No bream yet. But
No
we're
bream
hoping
yet.
some are going to be coming in.
Just been fishing, like I say, at about 40 metres out, 50 turns on a decent reel. Put quite a bit of bait out at the start, micros and fish meal ground bait with a few dead maggots in it. Now we're just fishing double dead maggot over the top, topping up with the same smaller feeder and just regularly casting with a few micros and ground bait.
Interesting to see now, because when we were watching Dean, obviously fishing shorter, he was just giving it a nice little chuck. But Darren is actually standing up, so you can actually see that's pretty for 40 metres, effortless there. Just shows what the rod can do.
Well, the thing is, Dan, is the thinness of the blank on this 12 foot feeder rod really makes it a bit special, to be honest. When you need to cast that little bit further, like I say, with a bit of a crosswind or even a headwind, it will just cut through the air a lot easier.
And when we was discussing earlier, you summed up the rod between the tip and the butt.
Well, basically, when we've been playing about with the rods from the very start, we've been messing about with where to put the eyes, the distance from the reel to the first eye. As you can see, it's probably best part of 18 inches away. Quite big standoff eyes, not too many eyes on the first sort of third of the rod, so that you can gain distance when you're casting. Again, everything's got to blend into one with the rod.
Yeah. Like Dean mentioned earlier, this rod, all the rods in range have got progressive action.
When you produce a very thin feeder rod, the main things that you've got to get right, and which I feel that we have done now, is to have some power in the bottom third to the middle of the rod. To be able to punch that feeder out, especially a 12 foot.
Yeah.
You know, you get a bit of a crosswind like today, you step up to a 35 or 40 gram feeder, you still need some sort of power in at least half of the rod to get it out there.
Okay. One thing I want to mention is with all of the feeder rods, you're getting what I call a top and tail. You get some rod sleeves from the top and the bottom, and you get a middle wrap. So nice little extra that comes with it, and in a nylon bag. It looks like the rain's going to start, so I'm going to take shelter and watch these two boys fish. Well, it's been a great session, two great anglers, and the rods have not been bad either. Cheers, guys.